My name is Chris Morrow, Comic-Con at Home, and my home is on a boat behind the convention center. And this panel is Insider Art, Compendium of Comics, Crafts, and Cats for all ages. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
If you guys would mind introducing yourselves and tell me where your home is.
I'm from Houston, Texas, and I am the retailer liaison. I own a comic book store called Space Cadets Collection here.
My name is Chris Simon, and I am in Los Angeles, and I am the editor for the kitchen section in Insider Art.
And I'm Shelley Bond, and I live in Los Angeles, and I'm the managing editor of Insider Art, and I'm also the editor of The Garage, and I am the designer as well.
Welcome. Please tell me about this panel.
Okay, well, this came about when Insider Art was developed to help female and non-binary comic book retailers during the pandemic. You know, everybody had been shut down, and so Shelley had this brilliant idea to bring everyone together to do an anthology about bringing outside art inside so that everybody would have something to do during the pandemic. And we managed to gather 142 creatives to partake in this on their own time. And what resulted was just 270 pages of crafts, cooking, stories, and things to do inside for all ages.
And I think what's so great about it is that it really shows off what comics can do at their best. It's a collaborative art form, and I think it's immediate. And I think we all noticed this sense of urgency when the pandemic hit, and there was a lot of vitriol as expected. And I really wanted to reach out to my favorite people in the comics community to give back to female and non-binary retailers, because we have to look after our own. And so that's one of the reasons why we made it very specific. I wanted to come up with an idea that actually had a broad reach as well. So I came up with the idea of a house that had 8 different rooms. And the first person I called was Jen King, because she is an amazing retailer, and her heart is devoted to looking after comics people. So I knew she was going to be a great accomplice. And from there, I actually reached out to other female and non-binary comic book editors and pretty much said, we're all going to have a room. You get 25 to 30 pages, curated, chock full of crafts and comics and prose and single illustration and games, and we'll all bring it together. And the most amazing part was that we were able to get it all finished in under 3 months during a global pandemic. And so I'm super proud of that fact. And I want to just give a shout out to everyone who was involved on any level and anyone who's donated so far.
Yeah, that was another part of that fundraising effort. Was we had a lot of people that wanted to be involved, but weren't necessarily creatives or couldn't be involved in the project for other reasons. They had other time restrictions. So we had a whole bunch of people wanting to donate in some way. So they sent objects like original art or collectibles and those kinds of things. And I helped sell those so that we could donate the money to the fund.
The fund itself actually is a 3-pronged initiative. So we started with Jen's Facebook comic shopping channel, and that's where we started with the auctions on eBay. And I actually excavated my garage, which is still a mess, by the way, but I was an editor at DC Comics Vertigo for 23 and a half years. So I actually parted ways with lots of my rarities from those days, like a Sandman statue and other fun things. So that kicked us off. We launched the digital compendium on Gumroad in the middle of June. And so basically it's a suggested donation of $10. And you can not only get it for yourself, but you can also gift it to a friend or a friend's children. Because one of the really cool things about this is that it's for everyone. It's all ages. And I like to think of it as a summer fun annual. And if you go to Gumroad right now, all you have to do is type in gumroad.com/insider art, and you get right to the page. And in an instant, you get 270 pages of nonstop fun. The third, I should say the third part of our campaign is on Spoonflower, which is a wonderful fabric site. For some of the creators that were unable to do a short story or anything of length, we were kind of sneaky about this. We asked them to donate just one cat. And so about 30 artists donated an original piece of artwork of just one cat. And we took their cats, and not only do the cats have a cameo in the book, but the cats also appear on this wonderful fabric. So in the coming weeks, we will have that available on Spoonflower, and all donations will once again go to the Insider Art Comic Book Retailers Fund for female and non-binary comic book retailers.
The other thing, the cool thing that's happening is the original art. The cats themselves, the original art for the cats, is up for auction right now.
And where is it up for auction?
Go to eBay and look up Insider Art Cat. You will find it.
That's awesome. How about Comic-Con at home? How was it doing a panel this way versus the traditional way?
I think it was actually, I mean, it's harder, obviously, because as we can see with the Zoom call, you never know who's going to speak. And when you talk over, you can't hear and you can't really butt in and stuff like that. So there's something to be desired, when doing a panel over Zoom. But also being able to pre-record it and then submit it also had its perks. So, we did do it twice before, we submitted it. So that was, an obvious benefit, so that we could make sure that, we gave everyone their props and, and didn't forget anything. And so, and I think the response was pretty good. I watched the panel today and I thought, we had I think 100 people viewing when I was watching it. And it was kind of cool to see how it all turned out, because I know they did some light editing to it, and I thought it turned out great.
Yeah, I thought it was great too. One of the things I will say, less stage fright, obviously. I felt a bit more chill, because being up on the dais at San Diego is always a little intimidating, even though this year is my 26th Comic-Con, which is why I have a long shot on my camera right now. But the one thing I missed greatly was having a big projector and screen with slides, because I love to show off the book. Now, of course, the compendium is digital, but we made a few product shots so people could just see what they're getting for $10. And it's crazy. It's so much material. And if I do say so myself, it's just chock full of brilliant art and writing. We not only went to a lot of creators who have been our friends and colleagues for many, many decades, but we also specifically reached out to younger voices and new talent. And we reached out to all corners of the world. So we've got people represented from South Africa, from Greece, from Denmark, from England, you name it. And it's very likely that somebody within these 270 pages hails from a unique part of the world. And it was a great way to come together, to join forces as a crew of female and non-binary creators working towards putting this fund together to help so many people that actually lost a lot of revenue, and some that actually have to rebuild their businesses.
How much money are you looking to raise?
We are hoping to raise tens of thousands, because we really believe in this project and we believe in comics. I think a lot of people out there still think that either comics are for kids or comics are just superheroes. And this compendium represents comics at its coolest form. There are things here that I think extend the scope of what your average person thinks comics are. And I like to think that we can actually raise a lot of money for a worthwhile cause. So I'll say it once more, just because we believe in this so much. Check it out on Gumroad. All you have to do is type in gumroad.com/insiderart for 270 pages of all ages fun, put together just for you by 142 of your favorite female and non-binary creatives in comics.
And my staff already stole my copy of that book, by the way. Only took it.
Yes, we had limited editions that we made for ourselves, but we're hoping at some point to investigate print options. But for now, we really can't stress enough how amazing it would be if people would just check out the site. And again, buy one for yourself, gift one to your friends or your boss's kids, score some brownie points. But I think there's something in this compendium for everyone, whether it's learning a new recipe. Chris has a secret recipe from her family for an apple cider pie. I'm not sure if her father is happy that she gave out that recipe. We'll have to talk to her father after this interview. But there are board games. You literally can print out this beautiful board that was conceived by Vida Ayala and drawn by Sally Cantorino and colored by Gab Contreras. There is a part of the garage where you can learn how to build a skateboard ramp, and it's a story written by Skateboard Hall of Famer Cindy Whitehead and drawn by our youngest contributor, who is Lola the illustrator. She is a member of the Bushwick Street Art Collective, and she's a phenomenal artist. She just turned 12. So $10 for the suggested donation alone is worth it to see this rising star absolutely kill it on the page in a fun story about skateboarding.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much. It's incredible that 3 months and you've produced this this beautiful book. I myself, I'm going to buy 2 of them, give one to a friend, and I'll encourage others to do the same. Thank you so much. This is Chris Morrow, Remotely Connected, Comic-Con at Home, and I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
San Diego